Radrick Delantic Davis, known professionally as Gucci Mane, is an American rapper and record executive. Gucci began writing poetry as a child and began rapping at age 14. He helped pioneer the hip-hop subgenre of trap music alongside fellow Atlanta-based rappers T.I. and Young Jeezy, particularly in the 2000s and 2010s. Gucci Mane has an estimated net worth of $14 million. Gucci Mane, early life. Davis was born February 12, 1980, in Bessemer, Alabama, to former U.S. serviceman and power plant worker Ralph Everett Dudley and social worker and teacher Vicki Jean Davis. Davis's family had a strong military background. His paternal grandfather, James Dudley Sr., served in the military for 12 years, including during World War II, as a chef, and his maternal grandfather, Walter Lee Davis, served in the Pacific during World War II and on the USS South Dakota. Davis's father also served in the military, being stationed in Korea for 2 years. Davis's parents met in 1978. Davis's mother had a son, Victor Davis, from another relationship. When Davis was born, his father was on the run from the police for dealing crack cocaine and heroin and had fled to Detroit, Michigan. Davis's father was not present to sign the birth certificate, and David took his mother's last name. Growing up, David was raised by his paternal grandmother, while his mother attended college to get her degree. Davis's mother was a teacher who taught him to read at a young age and spent most of her time teaching him scriptures from the Bible. Davis's first school was Jonesboro Elementary, where he attended kindergarten and the first several grades of elementary school. His half-brother, Victor, introduced Davis to hip-hop when Davis was 6 years old by bringing Davis to a Run DMC, Beastie Boys, and LL Cool J concert. Before moving to Atlanta with his mother, Davis had a distant relationship with his father, who would visit at irregular intervals. The visit stopped when Davis's father had 2 children with another woman and began to prioritize his children in Atlanta over Davis. Davis moved with his single mother to Atlanta when he was 9 years old due to family problems at Bessemer. Davis's mother had a boyfriend in Atlanta and planned to move in with him, but she decided otherwise at the last minute. They later moved in with someone Davis's mother met in church. Davis's family was kicked out of the house and did not have a stable living environment until his father set them up in a Knights Inn. Davis grew up in an area which was high in crime. Davis's mother moved Davis and Victor to East Atlanta, and Davis attended Cedar Grove Elementary School. He was generally good in school and considered himself athletic, although he did not participate in school sports. Davis dealt drugs, mainly selling cannabis with his older brother. Davis sold cannabis on his own, ended up using his Christmas money to acquire crack cocaine while in the 8th grade, starting his career as a drug dealer. By the time Davis began taking his side hobby as a drug dealer as a career, he was a freshman at the Ronald E. McNair High School, where he got good grades and was considered popular among his peers. Davis never actually took drugs for the first few years that he was dealing drugs, though his first experience was smoking cannabis with a girl he had a crush on. He entered a friends with benefits arrangement with a girl with whom he regularly smoked cannabis, leading to a slight psychological addiction. Even though Davis had been selling drugs for nearly 2 years by 1995, he'd never encountered a violent situation. When he was 15, Davis was riding his push bicycle when a man stopped him and pointed a Desert Eagle at him. Davis was robbed of all his valuable items following the encounter and began himself to carry a .38 caliber handgun. Davis had numerous other life-threatening situations, including a feud with a local street gang who called themselves the Shoal Boys in 1997. The feud resulted in Davis's friend Javon being beaten close to death and adult men walking into McNair High School looking for Davis. The feud resolved itself when Davis and several friends got into a fistfight with members of the East Shoal Boys, who have since left Davis alone. Davis graduated from McNair High School in 1998 with a 3.0 GPA and a Hope Scholarship to Georgia Perimeter College. He took a computer programming course, though he rarely attended, and was kicked out in 2001 after being caught in possession of crack cocaine by an undercover police officer. Davis was sentenced to 90 days in county jail and then probation. Davis enjoyed writing poetry at a young age and began rapping at the age of 14. Following his arrest, Davis began to take music seriously and released Le Flair on Straight Drop Records. It was pressed onto about 1,000 CDs and distributed through East Atlanta. Following the release of Le Flair, and after being inspired by Master P, Davis decided he wanted to start a music label. Davis began to manage rapper Lil Buddy in 2001. In 2002, Davis linked up with Sis Records as a member of the Sign Yourself clique. Davis also linked up with producer Zaytoven and made his own label, LaFleur Entertainment. After heading to New York in search of a distribution deal and returning home empty, he was introduced to Big Cat, the head of Big Cat Records, ultimately deciding to form an alliance with the label that brought Kaya to prominence. Davis released the song Black Tea in response to Dem Franchise Boys' hit White Tea, as well as a collaboration with fellow rising local rapper Young Jeezy with So Icy, securing a distribution deal with Tommy Boy Records. Davis continued to work the underground while preparing for the release of his debut album. Gucci Mane Personal Life. Davis married Kaisha Kaori, the founder of Kaori Cosmetics and Kaori Fitness in Miami on October 17, 2017. The wedding was paid for by BET, which produced an accompanying 10-segment TV series, The Main Event, depicting wedding preparations and the ceremony. Davis had proposed to Kaisha after performing at an Atlanta Hawks basketball game. On December 23, 2020, Kaisha gave birth to their son, Ice Davis. On February 8, 2013, Kaisha gave birth to their daughter, Icelyn Kaor Davis. Davis disclosed in his autobiography that his son was born in 2007, whom he had not known about until he was 10 months old. Gucci Mane Professional Career. In 2005, Gucci debuted with Trap House, followed by his second and third albums, Hard to Kill in 2006 and Back to the Trap House in 2007. Following a string of critically and commercially successful mixes released in 2009, Gucci Mane released his fourth studio album, The State vs. Radic Davis, his first gold-certified album. Following time spent in prison between 2014 and 2016, he re-emerged with several new retail projects, including Everybody Lookin' in 2016, which was released to critical praise. His 2016 collaboration Black Beatles provided Gucci Mane with his further #1 single on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart. He has since released numerous albums. His latest one, Woptober 2, was released October 8, 2019. Gucci Mane has released 14 studio albums and over 71 mixtapes throughout his career. In 2007, he founded his own label, 1017 Records. He's worked with artists such as The Weeknd, Drake, Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, Selena Gomez, Mariah Carey, Usher, Bruno Mars, and Marilyn Manson. His mixtape releases and trap music has influenced fellow Atlanta rappers like Young Thug, Migos, Rich Homie Quan, 21 Savage, and Lil Yachty, and he's been called an avatar of East Atlanta and the most influential underground rapper of the 2000s. Gucci Mane made his acting debut in the 2012 film Birds of Feather, co-starring with producer Zaytoven. The same year he was featured in Spring Breakers, which also featured James Franco, Selena Gomez, Vanessa Hudgens, and Ashley Benson. In May 2016, Gucci Mane began teasing images of his upcoming clothing line called Delantic, which will feature a range of apparel, from t-shirts and hoodies to underwear. In September 2017, Davis published his autobiography, The Autobiography of Gucci Mane. The book was written during Davis's time in prison and was authored by Neil Martinez Belkin, a former XXL magazine editor. In the weeks before the publication, Davis released a trailer for the book consisting of a short montage directed by videographer Cam Kirk. The autobiography of Gucci went on to become New York Times bestseller. The New Yorker said the book, quote, reads like a set of liner notes that try to impose a central order on his life story. Thanks for watching, and kindly don't forget to subscribe. You may also like and share this video.